What's up, interwebs? It's your realtor, Jeremy. It's time for the Valley Market Update, and this week I'm going to tell you why, just because your friend, buddy, cousin, aunt, grandma, uncle has a real estate license, you might not want to use them. Alright, this week we're taking a look at three cities that we don't look at often: Fountain Hills, Rio Verde, and Carefree. And just like the intro said, two of these cities are the exact reason somebody who just has their license but isn't practicing real estate is not going to help you succeed. Two of these cities we're going to look at are behaving like no other parts of the valley. Let's take a look at Fountain Hills first. That chart right there gives me literal indigestion. What happened last February and then March and geez Louise, all over the map. Now, I do hope that we have that kind of an increase here pretty soon of new listings like they saw, like what was that, almost double? It's crazy. But you can see as we look at November, December, new listings did trail off. That is a normal trend. Buyers did trail off a little bit. All kind of normal there. But look at this next slide. Aside from the blip of April, which I'm sure there was a multi-million-dollar house that sold, prices look pretty flat. Even if you take out that blip, they've not changed a whole lot in a year. But the rest of the valley's appreciated by 20-something%. Absorption rate stayed pretty flat, but did dip below 1 month in December, and that's just because new listings trailed off so far. Sold to list price ratio. Sold to original list price has not been over 100% since March of last year. So what does that tell you? You probably don't have to crazy overbid for a house in Fountain Hills. That probably means that we're also seeing fewer multiple offer situations in Fountain Hills. So if your buddy, aunt, uncle, whatever, who's not a practicing real estate agent, were helping you buy something in Fountain Hills where you wanted to be, but they only knew what the talking heads have been saying, which is over asking everywhere. All these commercials talking about $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 over asking. That's just not happening in Fountain Hills. Now, are there going to be a couple here and there that do? Absolutely. But this indicates that on the whole, on the average, houses are actually selling for less than their original list price. Now, they are selling for slightly more than the most recent list, but that means price reductions are happening. Very different things going on in Fountain Hills than much of the rest of the valley as a whole. Days on market are sitting about 40, which for an average sale price in the mid to upper 600s, 40 days is a long time when you compare it to the rest of the valley. It's great as a seller to look at this and go, okay, normal is 40 days. So maybe it sits on the market as active for 10 days and then it goes under contract. The average sale price was $678,502, up from $603,114, at 12.5% change. Now, because there are so few houses that sell in Fountain Hills, sometimes these average numbers can be a little volatile. So if you look at the year to date, it's about an 18.72% change. So that's probably a little bit more accurate number, but it's definitely not as much appreciation in Fountain Hills as the rest of the valley has seen. Like I said, not a lot of houses sell in Fountain Hills. In December of 2021, sold 80. The previous year sold 115, a 30% drop, which is almost double of what most of our other cities we've covered this month have been. So definitely saw a drop off in December. The most active price point in Fountain Hills is the 550 to 750, but the 750 to 1 million was right behind it, just one behind it, 15 houses sold. All right, Rio Verde. I think I've covered this only once or twice on this show. That graph is kind of all over the map too, but seeing a similar trend in the latter part of 2021 where new listings dropped. Those prices are all over the map. Like Fountain Hills, there's even fewer houses in Rio Verde that sell. So we take away those blips and we've got a decent incline up, but it's by no means as dramatic as this would kind of make it look. Absorption rate is over a month. The sold to list price ratio in Rio Verde has only been over 100 twice in the last year. Even the sold to most recent list price was only over 100. So again, if you have an agent that's been working in Scottsdale, working in the Southeast Valley, Chandler, Gilbert, and doesn't know, or they just only hear or see what's posted on commercials and Instagram and that kind of stuff, they would tell you to go in and offer way more. But the data says you don't have to do that in Rio Verde. The data says that for the most part, across the board, whatever the list price is, it's probably going to sell for slightly under that or maybe just right at that. Days on market are, I don't even know what to do with this. You got 1 month 60, then 20, then almost 80, then back down to a little over 20, then up to like 70. I would say that in Rio Verde, on average, it will probably take somewhere between 40 and 50 days for a house to sell, but it could be a lot faster. Average sale price, $812,394, up from $630,671, a 28.81% change. We sold 20 last month, the previous year 33, almost a 40% decline in number of houses that sold in December. 550 to 750 is your most active, but on any given month, this fluctuates all over the place because there's just so few houses selling in Rio Verde. I am going to do a video here in the next few weeks talking about the water situation in Rio Verde. So if you want to know when that video hits, hit the subscribe button. You'll be updated when new Valley Market updates come out, when new adventure videos come out, and when I post the video about the Rio Verde water situation. And it's kind of a big deal if you live in Rio Verde, but there are some solutions. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up button. It helps my channel a lot. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. All right, finally, let's take a look at Carefree. And I honestly don't know if I've looked at Carefree. Carefree there's not a lot of houses selling it. I've said it before on this show. The reason I don't dig down much deeper than city level, like I don't go into like zip codes and stuff like that, is because when you have fewer houses, it throws off the numbers a little bit. It's hard to see and gauge trends when you're talking in the teens and maybe 20. Like even Rio Verde is pushing it on not enough houses to give us a really clear indication of trend. But let's take a look at it. Like I said, last month I looked at only 10 houses sold in Carefree. So these are going to be the numbers. They're not completely going to indicate trends, but it's close enough. I'll combine probably Cave Creek and Carefree into one conglomerate because they're pretty close to each other. Carefree is definitely the more upscale area there near Cave Creek, because Cave Creek does have some more kind of master plan developments that have some lower price houses. Carefree is almost all completely custom homes on like acre lots or 3/4 acre lots. It's almost all custom. Average sale price looks like it's skyrocketing. Absorption rate, we are over a month, but it has been ticking down a little bit, which we're seeing across the board. Inventory levels are continuing to drop. And then sold to list price ratio, again, like I've said the whole video, these cities are perfect indications that knowing the specific market, even the specific neighborhood that you're buying in, your realtor having that understanding could save you money, because if you think about it, $1 million property, 2% on $1 million property is $20,000. That's not chump change, people. So your agent knowing the specifics about the neighborhood that you're buying in will help you write offers that get accepted and that don't have you overpaying for a house. Days on market have been hovering anywhere between 30 days and 65, 70 days. Average sale price in Carefree was $1.535 million, up from $1.1 million, a 40% change. Like I said, because there's such a small volume of houses that sold, it throws some of the numbers off a little bit. It's not appreciated 40% in Carefree. I promise. We sold 11 houses in Carefree last month. The previous year we sold 16, about a 31.2% change. No clear winner on price band, but we've sold anything between $500,000 all the way up to $3 million plus. I'll pop on and show you what that $3 million plus was, because that may be throwing that average off a little bit more, because it might have been a substantially more than $3 million property. I'll be sticking it on the screen right now while I'm talking. That'll let you know what that highest price one was. That's it for this week's Valley Market Update. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope This information I shared today really drives home the fact that the knowledge your realtor possesses is powerful. And somebody who's not an active, practicing realtor, who doesn't understand what's happening in the specific neighborhood you're looking to buy, they either need to find out the information or you need to find a new realtor that understands the market. Because not only do you want to offer competitively so you can secure a property when there are multiple offers, it's good to know that in some cases, like if you're buying in Fountain Hills, that is probably not going to be necessary to go way over asking. Don't always listen to all the commercials that talk about how much more somebody sold their house for, because that is the case in a lot of the parts of the valley. But your realtor knowing your specific neighborhood is all the power you need to make sure that you are getting the best deal you can and being as competitive as possible in this market as a buyer or a seller. Again, hit that subscribe button if you want to hear about the Rio Verde water issues that are happening. That'll be coming out next week or so. And we'll see you guys back here next week on the Valley Market Update. Bye.